One day, Mr. Curry stepped on one of Paddington's marmalade sandwiches by mistake and ended up in hospital. From that moment on, the Browns were bombarded with postcards asking for supplies. Cakes, grapes, magazines, the list was never ending. So Paddington offered to take it all in his shopping basket on wheels. I do hope we're doing the right thing, said Mrs. Brown, as Paddington set off for the hospital. I shouldn't worry, replied Mrs. Bird. Knowing that bear, he'll look after himself. It's not Paddington I'm worried about, said Mrs. Brown. It's the hospital. Can I help you? Asked the receptionist. Well, said Paddington, I've really come to see Mr. Curry, but I wonder if I ought to have my head examined first. Your head? Oh, dear. Is it urgent? Very, said Paddington firmly. I think I've packed too many marmalade sandwiches under my hat. It sounds to me as though you need to see a psychiatrist, said the lady. A psychiatrist? Repeated Paddington. I've never heard of one of those before. It's a very long word for people who look after things up here. I'll get our Mr. Hines to deal with you. He takes on all our difficult cases, and he's never had a failure yet. Thank you very much, said Paddington, but I hope he likes marmalade. He might get rather sticky. As Paddington settled himself down in Mr. Hines's consulting room, he decided he liked hospitals. He was just about to nod off when the door opened. Ah, there you are, said Mr. Hines. I'm glad to see we're all ready. We're going to play a little game together. It's to test your reactions. I'm going to call out some words, and I want you to give me another word with the opposite meaning, right? Wrong, said Paddington promptly. Mr. Hines glared at him. Wait until I give you the go-ahead. Now, 1, 2, 3, go. Stop, said Paddington. Very good, said Mr. Hines. Very bad, said Paddington eagerly. Now, look here. Look there, cried Paddington. He broke off and gazed at the doctor. Can't you think of any more words, Mr. Hines? He asked. Mr. Hines decided to have one more go. White, he said, more in hope than in anger. Black, said Paddington. Big, small, fast, slow, fine, wet. Mr. Hines began to look better pleased. Well, he said, we've nearly finished. We've only just started, cried Paddington. No, you haven't. Yes, we have. No, no, no! Yes, yes, yes! You stop, yelled Mr. Hines. No, I won't, cried Paddington, falling off the couch in his excitement. To think, my first failure in 40 years, a bear. I should have my head examined. As the door slammed shut, Paddington looked most surprised. He'd been in the hospital for ages, and he was still no nearer seeing Mr. Curry, let alone having his hat removed. I think, he announced to the world in general, if I ever get my hat stuck on again, I shall use a shoehorn. It's much easier than seeing a doctor, especially when you're hungry.